Understanding what a recruiter really means during an interview can be challenging, mainly because misinterpreting things can make the difference between being hired or not. In this video, we'll share the inside scoop with you. We'll explain the difference between what recruiters say and what they actually mean, giving you an edge and increasing your chances of landing that coveted job. If you want to be fully prepared for your next interview, be sure to watch this video so you can approach your interview more confidently. But first, it's important to distinguish between two types of recruiters: headhunters and corporate recruiters. Headhunters are third-party contractors hired by the company to fill a position on contingency. This means they are only paid if they successfully place a candidate. Typically, they receive 15 to 25% of the candidate's year one income. Headhunters may not have the same level of knowledge about the position as internal corporate recruiters. Corporate recruiters work as part of a talent acquisition department within the company. They are full-time employees who are tasked with finding the best talent for the job. They are paid a salary and evaluated based on their ability to find the best fit for the hiring manager. This could be through the HR department or as a standalone department. The internal corporate recruiter typically supports a specific functional group and develops relationships with hiring managers through repeated interactions. This allows for a better understanding of the position requirements and hiring manager expectations. When you have your first interview with a corporate recruiter, it's usually a screening interview to assess your baseline competencies for the role. Today's video is focused on the internal recruiter's interview rather than the external headhunter. Without further ado, let's dive into some key points to listen for during the interview. During the initial stages of the interview, the recruiter may ask what you know about the company. This is a common question, and if you don't have any knowledge about the company or the position, it's certainly a red flag. Make sure you come to the interview prepared and show that you're genuinely interested in the role. Corporate recruiters look for engaged candidates who show a high level of interest. In the interview, the recruiter may also assess whether you have the necessary skills and competencies for the position. If they ask about a specific skill or experience and you don't have it, it's unlikely you'll move on to the next round. These competencies are requirements for the position, and your resume needs to reflect that. However, there are instances where you may have other valuable skills that compensate for the missing competency, and the recruiter may still consider you for the role. If the recruiter has to repeat or rephrase a question for you multiple times, it's a sign that you're not hitting the mark. Instead of giving the same answer repeatedly, take a moment to listen carefully to the question being asked and adjust your response accordingly. Each question is designed to assess a specific competency, so it's important to answer precisely. If you're unsure of what the recruiter is asking, don't hesitate to ask for clarification by saying something like, "Can you please give me an idea of what it is that you are looking for?" That way, I can provide a better answer. Rambling for a long period of time without taking a breath is almost always a bad sign. If the interviewer doesn't ask any follow-up questions, you're likely to end up in the no pile. Being long-winded is generally considered a negative in interviews because it suggests that you won't be able to effectively communicate with senior business leaders. It's best to answer questions directly and concisely, and allow the interviewer to ask for more information if needed. Towards the end of the interview, the recruiter will likely ask about your compensation expectations. If they don't ask, you may not be a good fit for the role. On the other hand, if they do ask, and your expectation is higher than their range, they may ask if you're willing to accept a lower salary. If the difference is significant, they may politely decline and offer to contact you if a better suited opportunity becomes available. Be confident in your realistic requirements and ensure you have reliable data to support them. If the interviewer asks if you have any questions for them, the interview is effectively over, and they've likely already made a decision on whether or not to move forward. Don't try to sell yourself at this point. Instead, use the opportunity to gather information that will help you make an informed decision about the company and whether or not it's a good fit for you. If the interviewer spends time selling you on the job and building excitement, it's a positive sign that they see potential in you and will likely move you on to the hiring manager. However, if the interview is short, around 10 to 15 minutes, it's likely that you're not a good fit for the role, as it only takes a few minutes for the recruiter to assess your suitability. Therefore, it's crucial to make a strong first impression if you want to advance to the next round. Now, if the interviewer tells you that there's a lot of interest in the position and they need to complete all their interviews before making a decision, it's less likely that you're a top candidate. On the other hand, if they introduce you to the hiring manager and schedule a follow-up interview, it's a strong indication that you're progressing in the hiring process and have a good chance of being offered the job. There you have it. This is some insider information that tells you exactly what recruiters mean when they say certain things in the interview. Hopefully, you can use these cues to your advantage in your next interview. If you need more help acing the interview, be sure to check out a related video on how to improve interview skills. It will equip you with the necessary skills to get the job done. If you found this video helpful, we would appreciate a thumbs up because that will help the algorithm get our channel out to a broader audience. Thank you for watching, happy job hunting, and hopefully you get all those good verbal cues from the recruiter. We will see you in the next one.